So we are here, it's a little past lunch, we're still waiting for our chow. I got the shakes, you know, and then we realized that, okay, you know what, actually everyone is going through the same thing over here, not so.
Everyone's a little bit fatigued, I think.
Yeah. So walking around, we happened upon probably the main call. It's already on, right? So the main call over here at Icon by the Sea, and that is, of course,
Want to come again?
the cosplayers.
Cosplayers.
Right. So
You had me at food.
okay, like swinging along, moving along, right? Okay, yeah. So my friend Baden, right now, you may know Baden from the Project Name events that we have, right? This man over here has got to have the best Kylo Ren costume in KZN.
South Africa?
In South Africa, because we're still the only 501 Legion guy here, right?
In Durban. Yes.
In Durban. This Morpho is the only 501 Legion one, right? So, now Baden, right? It's been a long day. How are you feeling right now?
Hot, sweaty and tired.
I can imagine.
And I can't see.
Now this is what we thought we'd do. You see, when it comes to cosplay, what Faheem and I have noticed is that when you go, you take out these photos or you try to photobomb with the cosplayers, you always see them at like, you know,
At their best.
At their best, this ideal, you know?
Yeah.
And now, what we were doing is we were chatting to the cosplay and we realized, you know what, they're actually real people with real feelings, you know? So we thought we'd chat to them with some of the more, I don't know, out there questions, stuff that you always wanted to know.
No general questions.
But never
Stuff that you want to know about them, besides how awesome the costume looks.
Exactly. So, Baden over here has been kind enough now to take a few moments just to chat to us about that. So, Faheem, all yours.
We promised him a nice cool glass of water, that's why.
I got my water money over here.
So we bribed him.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's a tip for later.
Thank you. Oh yeah.
Okay, now you put it a bit too deep, I can't get it back.
Does this make me a slide?
This video just took a different turn.
Before we actually started recording this, we asked him some interesting questions, which I think we'll have to recap. Which one should we start with first? Okay, let's start with the main one. How much of effort is gone into making this particular costume?
Okay.
Or in general?
This is version 3 of this costume. It's originally this had obviously 3 stages to it. First one, I did not actually know about the pipe first when I first started working on this. Second one, I sort of got a vague idea. Second one didn't even have this helmet. The helmet was foam and cardboard. Eventually, I picked this one up at Rage 2016.
Get a close up of the helmet.
So I found this one at Rage 2016 and decided from then on that I actually wanted to strive for Fiber First. Ended up making this, followed the Fiber First page, started looking at all these standards and criteria. It's a lot easier, to be honest, when you've got a set list of how you need to make something, what you need to make it with. And then from there you can actually develop your own little list of your materials to see how much is this going to cost, how much is that going to cost, set up budgets for
Is it costly?
Sorry?
Is it costly?
Very.
Is it?
It can be. I mean, it depends. It depends on the character. I mean, let's say if you've seen One Piece, you've got Monkey D. Luffy just wears the straw hat, the vest, hats. I mean,
Pretty
easy,
simple.
simple.
I have a vest. I got like 1/3 of the cosplay right there, you know, like, yeah. So I got that great one for me.
But now, when you want to do something like really intricate, I mean, the helmet alone was probably the most expensive part of the costume, excluding the lightsaber, which I did not bring with me because I'm an idiot sometimes. I'm still sad about that. But it gives me more time to work on it. But yeah, the materials, the flipping importing costs for some materials. I mean, some materials that you want to get just to be extra accurate, you can't get them here. So your next best step is importing, and then you've got to deal with customs.
We all know the
customs.
customs, the bane of collecting.
Yes. We're going to be doing another feature on that there at some point. Now, so there was another question we asked you. That you have a series of very intricate outfits. There was one that you had earlier today. It was the armor.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the character. Yes.
Kiltas.
Okay, the enemy guys.
It's not anime, World of Warcraft.
Okay, well, my bad.
We're old. We don't get out much. Well, we do get out much, but moving on, as we were saying, right? And one always wonders. I have a couple of cosplays myself, and like afterwards there's nowhere to keep it. So how do you go about doing it?
Like I said earlier, like I mean, I've got my own room dedicated to my costumes. Obviously, not everyone has that kind of luxury. A lot of people, depending on what it's made of, if it's material, I mean, it's easy, fold, pack away, find somewhere where it fit. When it comes to armor, you'll find some people actually build their own mannequins, or they'll try and find their own mannequins, and then from there it basically becomes a display item for them as well. So I mean, on top of like looking flippin' badass, you've also got this little other area for it to stand. I mean, my Kylo stands on a mannequin at
It's
home.
kind of like art. It becomes artwork in your home.
Yes, exactly that. So, I mean, instead of paintings, I'm a costume.
Some people have statues,
Yes.
paintings,
You'll
and
find,
this would
you'll
fall
find
under
other people will build even shelving that they can at least store some pieces on. And again, like even if it's just a chest plate, even if it's just like a chest plate, it can become a display piece.
Yeah, that
Or
makes,
I mean, helmets especially.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
These are beautiful on their own.
Yeah. No, like, I mean, I've seen some of your other work, and like in my few dabblings with cosplay, I can tell you like there's a lot of passion that actually goes into this thing, and like to actually take something from what it is to get to where you need it to be, there's a lot that goes into that. So with that segment now, we were also talking about the other side of cosplay. So we're going to pan around some of the other very well-known cosplays in the community with followings around the world actually happen to be over here based in Durban. Believe it or not. And hi, and how are you doing? Sorry, were you were you centering? Right, okay. So, icon as a concept, both Durban glasses, having something that is here in South Africa, in Durban. What are your thoughts?
We need more events. We can't just have one more here in Durban. We need more. And I'm like, this is my first time at Icon. Now I'm stuttering, I'm sorry. It's my first time at Icon, and I'm actually originally from sorry.
Video bomb!
I'm actually from East London, and it's my first time in Durban, and first time Icon, and I've made more friends here than I have living in East London. So it says a lot. It's very friendly, very interactive. It's really great
also have some
vibe.
sort of event or culture back there.
I started it. We started having cosplay competitions, and I was emceeing for them. But then I decided to leave. So I don't know if they're
I
carrying
wonder
on
why.
without
I
me.
wonder why. Was there a reason for that departure?
I wanted to improve my future a little bit more. East London's it's a nice place to settle down and move in, but it's not a place for someone like me who likes the city, who likes people, who likes to socialize.
So you came for the lights.
No, I came for the people. My best friend and my other best friend, who's my boyfriend, is here.
Look at it. Like
He's
seriously.
blushing.
But you see, this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. What I've noticed, and there was a guy. This is something I just want to talk about. This is a bit of a social message, right? Social education, as it were. What you need to understand is the cosplayers, what they create, it's art. It's art, and it needs to be respected. And at the end of the day, you must remember that in as much as these people channel these characters, at the end of the day, that does not give you the right or an invite, as it were now, to abuse. As you're hearing, that's why we wanted to do this sort of feature. You know, the faces behind the helmets and the masks. The point that what we're trying to do over here is that you must remember, geek culture is growing, and in as much as in a place like Durban in Natal, it's not something we are readily exposed to compared to, as it were, in, let's say, for example, the United States. At the end of the day, the level of decorum, first and foremost, the amount of work that goes into creating this. It's not for you to come and say, okay, listen, let me your prop. I can't do this. Let me your prop and be like, no. You see? Right. It's art. You don't do that.
It's not
No,
on. It's a
Jai.
lollipop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's why it's so lifelike. I was like, okay. I was making such a
I
strong
wouldn't eat a
point.
prop.
I was making such a strong point, but just work with you. Yeah. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. These are human beings. These are human beings, have real feelings, real goals, real objectives, and at the end of the day, in as much as they represent their respective brands, respect, not so fake.
If you think about it, they're like superheroes. They have a dual identity. One is for the public, and one is their private life.
True. On point, yeah.
It's actually very nice of you to say that because a lot of people don't tend to stand up for cosplayers that aren't cosplayers, which is actually really, it's quite nice because it shows that there are people that respect what we do. One of the things I always found that was most awkward is like I'd be standing there eating something and someone's just taking a picture and then I look really weird and then all of a sudden pops out of nowhere. Like, I mean, ask for a picture and we'll probably gladly say, sure, let's take one. But also sometimes we also struggle when we get really thirsty or hot. Like, a perfect scenario is I was at Rage last year.
He's dying in the heat right now.
I was at Rage last year and I hadn't had any water until 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I'd been stopped for pictures constantly and I felt too shy to say I'm sorry, I need to stop. Eventually I was just like, guys, I'm gonna sound like a complete jerk, but I need to stop. Bye. And I went and had my water.
Don't blame you.
And a lot of people don't seem to understand when a cosplayer is like, please can you just let me get water rather and find me later. We don't stop because we don't want a picture, but because we're probably dying inside.
It's true. If there were a message that you could put out there, to fans, followers, potential followers, what would that be?
I think the most important thing to remember is that cosplayers are people too. We need the same amount of respect you'd give your fellow con-goer. Just because we're in costume and it's all exciting and everything doesn't mean that you can just treat us like furniture. Right? And that's not just at a con, that's also on cosplay pages. Just because we're posting pretty pictures or whatever doesn't mean there's not a person behind it. So things like hate comes up and harsh criticism that's not awesome. It's just people need to remember and respect that there's a person sitting behind that screen or there's a person behind the mask or behind, under the wig.
That is not her real hair.
Yes, it is. No.
Like, totally.
No.
I'll
Who's
draw
your
like
stylist?
this.
I need that.
I'm the main character.
But yeah, it's just to remember that that's the person under there, under everything. Just like you.
We're
and
not
they're-
asking for special treatment, but just a
No.
little bit of consideration to the fact that we do feel
Yes,
and
we're also hard to study.
we also take offense to things if you're mean to us, it hurts.
Yeah.
And we just want to have fun. I mean, we're not part of the event in the sense that the event organizers paid us to dress up or anything. This is something we spend our time on because we love our characters, we love what we do, we love all the fandoms, exactly. So we want people to ask us for pictures, we want people to socialize with us, we want that, but we just ask that you treat us with respect like you would your friends or family.
I get that. Now, which brings us to this part. Yeah? So, go ahead.
I have a question. Does it get competitive or catty between cosplayers?
Every community has their drama, and we're human. Everybody's gonna gossip. Everybody's gonna talk about people. It's part of being human. No one's perfect, and at the end of the day, it's how everyone resolves it that makes us better people. So to say that there's no drama is a lie, but also it's not necessarily something that we focus on. So while you go to any community, I mean, a golfing club probably has their drama.
We win
Oh,
a few
you
communities
have no
and
idea.
we've seen it escalate.
There's always the competition.
People are always picking on fire.
Very clicky. But actually, if you want to hang out with us, craft with us or anything, it's like tell us. Let's make a plan. We want to be friends.
To be honest, I dabble a little bit in cosplay, just a little bit. Like we had an incident once.
Yes, Han Solo.
like a half-dead solo, and for me it was. I must admit, it's a little bit intimidating. Could you speak to that?
That's again where I would say, remember that
Don't
we're
make
just people.
levels. Yeah, don't make levels
Just
for
because
us.
our costume is good, it just means that we've been doing it for longer. It doesn't mean that we're like
We'll
elitists.
spend hours and hours. Like last night, I only went to bed this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning to make these ears, of which they broke anyway.
You went to bed?
But that's my point. There's there's no outcome without sacrifice. Half of us don't even spend weekends with our parents and things like that because we're working on this, because we want a goal. We have a goal,
On
we
the
have
topic
an
of
end
parents.
story.
On the topic of parents.
So we get cuts, we get burns, we push through it. I mean, I had chemical burns for my Valera costume because I was an idiot who put my glove on and then I put contact glue and I put the foam on top and then my skin was just like, I'm not having this, and it was like, and then
That
she
is
did
an
the same
origin
thing.
story right there. That is an origin story. You know, like that's a character waiting to
Every
happen.
costume has its
That's why
chaos
our
that
costumes
happens
are
behind
special
it.
because probably there's some tears on them somewhere, some happiness, some rage, some
tears.
blood. Okay, we try to avoid the blood.
But you know, I get that. But you know, it's good, like I said, for someone at novice level now to hear that people who are very proficient at this, you know, you also have those issues. I once tried
I
my
was
hand.
crying last night. I really
Wow,
was.
you know, I'm glad we're having this emotional bonding. It's important. You know, I tried to do these Lego costumes, right? And they came out pretty okay, I thought. It was
I think
kinda
it was
good.
very nice.
Well, thank you, guys.
He's doubting himself, isn't it?
No, but what it was that, like, you know, when I got there and, like, stuff was falling apart, you know, I was like, okay, you know what, I did not think this through. You
That
know,
happened
there
with my Demon Hunter.
so that's stuff that happens to you guys as well, you know, like,
Carry a glue gun, carry contact glue, carrying sewing needles, carry this, carry that. You have to take your craft room with
Oh, so
you.
that's what's in your
It's
satchel.
why when
Oh, my God,
at some
oh, my God,
cons,
sorry.
at like the more popular cons, you'll see they've actually got cosplay workshops or repair shops. Sorry.
Yes, hospitals.
At Rage
had a
2016, they had like a little cosplay hospital.
Yeah.
So if people's armor or cosplays were falling apart, they could go and get them stitched up or glued back together. And I think it's a really good idea. It really
for
helps
Icon
because
next year, something for
when
Icon.
when you've invested so much time and effort into something and you go there and you're feeling all proud and it all falls apart, you feel your heart break. So having the little hospital over
It's the
there
same
really
as
helps.
when you're busy making it and it falls apart and you're just like, oh well, I'm not doing it anymore.
Or it doesn't work the way you wanted it to. And you had this whole thing planned out and you do it and you try and put it on and it just
That was literally
Or you
better
don't
than-
even suit your cosplay and you've been planning it for like half a few months and you're just like, what have I done with my life?
I know, I've always thought I'd make a rather dapper Joker, but Joker plus. So, not happening, you know? But you know what, I
Big,
think
small, colors, heights, age, doesn't matter.
cosplays for everyone.
As long as you have fun.
you know what, I think that should be the takeaway from this, you know?
They just like came up with the motto, cosplay
Yeah.
for everyone, as long as you have fun.
If you guys
Well,
could
it's
just, let's
literally
get
been a
that,
thing
let's
since
get
it
that.
started.
Let's get that together now and listen to guys say that. That will be the takeaway from this.
Yeah.
You know, like so like on 3, right? So like on 1 and 2 and 3.
Cosplays for everyone. I just hit you in my lollipop, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you. That sounded so dodge. I just got hit with a lollipop. Wow. Right. So yeah. Anyway, but thanks so much, guys. I'm very, very grateful. Yeah. So that's basically where we are. So Faheem, what did you take away from that?
Cosplay is fun and it's for everyone.
And that rhymes. We should do a rap.
What is this, like, not so Slim Shady.
Okay. That's what we're gonna be doing. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff. And yeah, meet up. Ciao, Rajack. Ciao.